Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hi, this is Shri Sundaram, Dean for the Tiedemann School of Business and Finance. And I want to welcome you to one of the first sessions we're holding, virtual sessions, to connect with all of our students in the finance program. I want to take this opportunity to introduce myself, but also tell you a little bit about our philosophy and where we're headed going forward. Again, myself, just a little bit about myself. I've been the dean for the Tiedemann College of Business for the last 4 years, and as of July 1st, I'm going to be I am the dean for the Tiedemann School of Business and Finance under the Muma College of Business, and I'm responsible for all the finance programs across all three campuses. So I want to welcome all of you that are part of the finance program, whether it's at the bachelor's level, the master's level, or at the doctoral level. So really look forward to working with all of you. I want to take this opportunity also to tell you a little bit about, where I think we're going to be moving the program towards to. First of all, a little bit about the philosophy that I bring in. I really look at a very simple philosophy, what I call a no-do-be philosophy. That simply what that means is relevant knowledge that we want to provide, to you in your curriculum, and then the opportunity to apply this knowledge in practice. So that helps us bridge theory and practice. And as you all know in concepts, we learned about cost of capital or other concepts in finance. How can we apply that in practice? And the last aspect is really focusing on you as an individual. What are the things that we can do, both curricular and co-curricular activities that help develop you as a person and a stronger candidate for future employment? So that's the overall philosophy. What we have done is really starting to look at the curriculum itself and making sure we have relevant curriculum at each level. And then we're thinking about new programs working as a team. We have 27 finance faculty members across three campuses. So we're going to be working on that project the next year, and we'll keep you informed. With that said, I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to ask some questions, and I'm happy to answer those. All right, take it away, Jamie.
Awesome. So one of the first few questions that we have are going through questions about the finance program. And the first one is, what are the career paths available to finance students?
That's a really good question. I think, one of the things that, especially at the bachelor's level, when you have a student coming in, we really look at and say, part of the guidance that we're hoping to provide is the career tracks. And I would say start off with in the corporate finance area. So what does that really mean? If you go work for any company, like whether it's a Tech Data or a Jabil or any company, they have certain requirements, their needs. So for example, you have accounts receivable. That's it needs to be managed. That cash has to be managed. So you have a roles to play within a corporate, company, and that's what we call as a corporate track. And typically there are analysts that provide, and work in the Treasury Department, handling all of the cash or receivables. And if you're a large company, the international, currencies and managing that. So that's one track I would say is a corporate finance track. Typically you want to have a good handle of finance and accounting. So that's a good background to have if you're going in that area. The second one I would look at is the investments track. And when you look at the investments area, again, a lot of focus has been on sales, but more and more on the investment analyst side. So when you look at it as an investment analyst, is really looking to work for a company that helps identify investments and potential developing portfolios, or sitting down with clients and having the discussion. And typically the credentialing on that is there are many certificates you need to pass if you're in the area of sales. But also you can look at CFA certification, Certified Financial Analyst certification, that allows you to become significantly involved in the investment industry. The third track I would say is financial institutions, such as working for a bank or any area where you're going to be a credit analyst. And that's an area where I would say you are basically looking at and evaluating applications for loans and things like that, where you're underwriting, doing some underwriting functions. So this is an area where I would say heavy knowledge of finance with at least an intermediate accounting background would be very helpful as you look at a credit analyst role. The fourth area would be to really focus on the financial planning track. As you're looking at more and more we have a lot of financial planners and people who are active in wealth management that are sitting down with clients and helping them manage their retirement plans or looking at educational plans. That's what we call a personal financial planning major. That's something that we have, and that's what the career track that's focused upon is, really preparing you for that particular aspect. There are other areas that you could potentially look at. I'll give you one example. Mergers and acquisitions is another area that is becoming, growing in the area, Tampa Bay area, and that is really helping companies evaluate the proposals for buying or selling companies, looking at the value of the companies. Those are specialized tracks, so as what I would call the valuation track or the mergers and acquisition track. Okay, so those are some of the examples I would provide at the undergraduate level that's available from a career standpoint.
Great, thank you. And another question we had was, what student organization should finance students get involved in?
So again, a great question. We have student orgs in all three campuses, and if you look at, there's investment clubs and other student organizations in each of the campus. So based upon the campus that you're in, please check with your finance program to see what is the student organization that you need to be part of. So if you're in the St. Pete campus, so I typically again spend a lot of time at the St. Pete campus and also in the Tampa campus, and drive down to the Sarasota Manatee campus occasionally. But depending on where you are, you can approach a finance faculty and they can tell you what are the organization that makes, that you should belong to. There's also a financial management organization that is one of the student organizations that's related to finance. So take a look at it and see what makes sense. In Tampa, we have a real estate related student organization that is very active. So there are multiple opportunities, and depending upon your choice and preference, please talk to a faculty or feel free to contact me offline. I'll be happy to help you with that.
Great. One student asked, they want to get an internship, but they're not sure where the best place to start is.
So I would say, again, in the St. Pete campus, come to the undergraduate program office. In the Tampa campus, again, you can go to the MUMA Business Advising Office. And in Sarasota, again, you can please go to the advising office. In each of these areas, you would have internship coordinators. And what the internship coordinators do is not only we publicize the internship opportunity comes to us in a handshake, but we also, are able to sit down with you, have a conversation, say, what are your areas of interest? And, I'll give you an example. On the St. Pete campus, we have increased from about 3 years ago to have 22 internships to over 120 internships last year. Obviously, the pandemic made a huge impact on face-to-face internships. We're hoping, but in spring, we'll continue to grow. But my recommendation to you is please to go to your advising office and talk to someone and say you're interested in internship, and they should be able to help you. If not, again, feel free to send me an email, and I'm happy to direct you to the right person.
Great. And so another student wanted to know, what are the goals for the future of the finance program in general?
That's a great question. So again, I'm going to take you at each level. Let's start off with the bachelor's level. What we really are focused on is career tracks in each of those in the bachelor's level. Say, do you want to be, which career track that you want to go? Is it corporate, investments, personal, institutional, personal financial planning? Real estate is a concentration that we have. So looking at these tracks, what we really wanted to make sure is we match up the courses that we offer, but also give you the internship or experiential opportunity in each of the areas. So that's one of the things that we want to make sure is, and also on a co-curricular basis, what we really want to do is to innovate to make sure that we allow you to have networking opportunities. We will have a careers in finance, opportunity that we're going to bring in. But I would bring representatives from each of these areas and have them talk to you about their career path and the journey, so you can ask questions and answer, questions with them to learn a little bit more about, how they pursue their path, and also to network for yourself. So I think that's what we're looking at for the undergraduate program, is continue to have a very clear career path for our students. At the master's level, we really are targeting two things. One is really looking at how can we build a one-year master's program very specifically targeted at our own graduates that want to pursue after the bachelor's a one-year master's degree and then have a specialization, but also have a stronger ability to prepare for certification, whether it's a CFA or CFP or other certifications. We want to prepare you for it, but we're also going to make it innovative. In the one-year program, we really are working with corporate partners to say, can you gain the work experience along with the curriculum component? So that's what we're looking at. And then a second pathway in the master's level is going to be really looking at for non-traditional students. The students are already working, but they would like to have a master's degree in finance. We're going to create a pathway that affords flexibility, evening classes, online classes that allows them flexibility to be able to take that, get the master's degree. So that's what we're really thinking about at the master's degree level. And the last thing is the doctorate level. If you are very interested in pursuing a career in teaching, in higher education, we do have the doctoral program for you to pursue a doctorate degree. So those are the main pathways that you have, and we'll be happy to share more about any of these programs.
Thank you. The next question is about consolidation. One student wanted to know, how are we integrating the finance programs across all 3 campuses?
Again, a wonderful question. What we have had before consolidation was 3 different majors with slightly different requirements for each of these majors. Now, what made it challenging was that a student could take some classes from, if they're from Tampa, they could take some classes in St. Peter, Sarasota, but there was a limitation on the number of credit hours you could take. What we've done post-consolidation is there's only one finance major, whether you're in Tampa, St. Peter, Sarasota. So the requirements are exactly the same, and because the requirements are the same and you get the degree, you can take classes anywhere and that would count towards your degree. So we made it very clear that is one set of requirements for the finance major, irrespective of which campus, and you still have those 3 concentrations. We may add more concentrations or career tracks going forward, but you will have the ability to look at those, and we will make sure our website will have those information in the coming months about all the various career tracks that we will be you'll be able to pursue as part of the bachelor's program.
Thank you. And our next question has to do with the coronavirus, and what will the spring semester look like for classes? Do we know yet?
We do have some idea, and so what we're doing is very similar to fall. What we have done is to allow for a face-to-face class with a sister section that's online. If we are fortunate enough that we don't have to maintain the social distancing requirements, then we will be able to accommodate all of the students into that face-to-face section. If, on the other hand, we still have to maintain the social distancing and therefore the capacity in the classrooms are limited, then we will continue what we're doing right now. So for every class, based upon the classroom, your capacity may be from 10 students to 20 students in the classroom, but simultaneously the faculty will broadcast so students can engage with that same class remotely. And so that flexibility will continue to go forward, but we're making sure we have the flexibility. If things improve significantly, then we can really go back to being to the original situation where we can accommodate all the students face to face.
Great, thank you. Looks like those are all the questions we've had from our active students at the moment. So I think at this point we can log off if you have any closing remarks you'd like to share with the students.
Well, I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you for participating in the program. My goal is to have more of these programs, so look forward to it, but you don't have to wait for these programs to ask any questions. Really, this is an opportunity to introduce myself, and in the future, what we will do is to bring different staff members from different areas, so you get to know who the staff members are responsible for a master's degree, undergraduate degree, or an advisor. So we will have that kind of an opportunity for you to meet them and possibly get to know them through this. A good example will be internship coordinator. We'll be able to bring an internship coordinator so you can hear about the process for internship that will be available. So I truly, again, appreciate you being part of the program, our inaugural live event, and we will continue to do this more and more. And that's our way to stay connected with you. Wishing you all the best as a student. I know this has been a challenging semester. I want to wish you all the best and a great the rest of the year, and we'll look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you.